I don't give a shit who he is with. I want you to pull Commander Lipson out of that meeting right now.
Ma'am, I'm not really sure that I can...
Shut the fuck up and listen to me. It wasn't a rogue asteroid strike. It was an attack. An attack! Give me a goddamn list of every person on Luna with a direct line of communication to Fleet Command. Fuck!
Christian.
What?
A second rock just hit Earth.
Where?
About 40 kilometers northwest of Philadelphia. And we've lost communication with New York. At least now they know it's an attack.
They can't see the rocks. They don't know why. We have to get through to the Secretary General herself. Tell her directly what we know.
We'll convince her.
She'll be in the stateroom bunker.
No, she's not in New York. She's on some junket. South Asia Trade Zone talks.
Right. Secret Service will have her off the ground by now. We need to contact the UN one.
Medics from Fort Wayne and Fort Drum are being deployed to the disaster area, along with 80 MEVs and 50 clearance for search and rescue. Medical Corps is setting up triage units around Syracuse and Pittsburgh.
I want relief drones around the clock in the air to resupply the first responders and make sure the UNAID and the Red Cross get anything they need.
Fleet Command recommends that we head to Luna immediately until they can better assess exactly...
We're not going to Luna.
Nancy, the planet's under attack.
And I'm not abandoning it. What the hell's going on with the asteroid spotters?
The Planetary Defense Command says it's possible the entire Sentinel system's been hacked.
Jesus.
Motherfucker.
I went to the academy with half the officers on that plane. Not even one of them will pick up. We've been blackballed by our whole goddamn staff.
That's it. The staff. Casey.
Madam Avasarala.
Listen to me. I need you to do exactly as I say.
Ma'am, this is Chef Casey on UN-1.
I know who I fucking called. You fattened me up for years with macarons. Now, listen. Nancy, you have to listen to me, please.
God damn it!
Sir, I'm sorry she made me.
The rocks crashing down on Earth are covered in Martian stealth composites. That's why our spotters cannot see them.
Why would Mars?
It's not Mars. It's
Marco and Aros.
Yes, and I can prove it. But right now, you have to trust me.
What do you recommend?
The Watchtower satellites are the only thing we have that can penetrate stealth. You have to link them to the spotters. That's the best chance to destroy any more rocks that are on the way.
How many more are there?
I don't know, which is why you have to act immediately.
Retask the Watchtowers and the Sentinels. Just do it. Thank you. You may have just saved millions.
That's all that matters.
I've always admired your persistence.
I prefer to think of it as perseverance.
I'll bet you do.
Bam! Get down!
Oh my God!
Birds. Oh yeah. We got one rolling back. We had both of them rolling back. Ignition start.
I bring you love.
Is that the love between a man and a woman, or the love of a man for a fine Cuban cigar?
I bring you love.
It's bringing love. Don't let it get away.
Break its legs.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Living Well with Schizophrenia YouTube channel.
I'm starting the APU. My aircraft.
Your aircraft.
Get at the QR engine.
Priority left.
Loss of thrust on both engines. Mayday, mayday, mayday. This is Cactus 1549. Hit birds. We've lost thrust on both engines. We are turning back towards LaGuardia.
Okay, you need to return to LaGuardia. Turn left heading 220.
220.
Too low. Terrain.
50, 40, 30, 20.
Successful landing at Teterboro, runway 19.
Multiple airports, runways, 2 successful landings. We are simply mimicking what the computer already told us.
You know, a lot of toes were stepped on in order to set this up for today. And frankly, I really don't know what you gentlemen plan to gain by it.
Can we get serious now?
Captain?
We've all heard about the computer simulations, and now we are watching actual sims, but I can't quite believe you still have not taken into account the human factor.
Human-piloted simulations showed that you could make it back to the airport.
No, they don't.
This has to be a mistake. As of 1100 hours, all primary military systems were secure.
They were. Only the civilian sector was affected. Internet, air traffic, power plants, that sort of thing. But then a few minutes ago, we got word that guidance computers at Vandenberg crashed.
We thought it was a communications error, but now it looks like the virus.
Early warning in Alaska's down. What?
Signals from half our satellites are scrambled beyond recognition.
What about the missile silos, the subs?
We've lost contact.
Dear God, you're saying this country is completely open to attack.
Theoretically, we could be under attack already.
Who's doing this? Foreign power or some computer hacker in his garage?
We can't trace the virus. We can't pin it down.
It's like nothing we've ever seen before. It keeps growing and changing, like it has a mind of its own.
This can't be happening.
Sir, Pentagon's on the secure line. It's the chairman.
All right. Brewster.
We're hoping to hell here you got some kind of solution for us.
I know what you're looking for, sir, but Skynet is not ready for a system-wide connection.
That's not what your civilian counterparts over there just told me. They say we can stop this damn virus. Now, I understand there's a certain amount of performance anxiety over there, but your boys are saying that if we plug Skynet into all of our systems, it'll squash this thing like a bug and give me back control of my military.
Mr. Chairman, I need to make myself very clear. If we uplink now, we'll be in control of your military.
But you'll be in control of Skynet, right?
That is correct, sir.
Then do it. And Rooster, this thing works. You get all the funding you ever need.
Yes, sir.
Hello, children. I bring you love.
It's a monster! Kill it! Kill it!
It's not a monster. It's Mr. Burns.
Oh, it's Mr. Burns.
Kill it! Kill it!
No, let me...
These pilots were not behaving like human beings, like people who are experiencing this for the first time.
Well, they may not be reacting like you did.
Immediately after the bird strike, they are turning back for the airport, just as in the computer sims, correct?
That is correct.
They obviously knew the turn and exactly what heading to fly. They did not run a check. They did not switch on the APU.
They had all the same parameters that you faced.
No one warned us. No one said you are going to lose both engines at a lower altitude than any jet in history. But be cool. Just make a left turn for LaGuardia like you're going back to pick up the milk. This was dual engine loss at 2,800 feet, followed by an immediate water landing with 155 souls on board. No one has ever trained for an incident like that. No one. And the Teterboro landing, with its unrealistic bank angle, we were not the Thunderbirds up there. I'd like to know how many times the pilot practiced that maneuver before he actually pulled it off. I'm not questioning the pilots. They're good pilots. But they've clearly been instructed to head for the airport immediately after the bird strike. You've allowed no time for analysis or decision-making. In these simulations, you take in all of the humanity out of the cockpit. How much time did the pilots spend planning for this event, for these simulations? You are looking for human error. Then make it human.
This wasn't a video game. It was life and death. Sully's right, that's worth a few seconds.
Please ask how many practice runs they had.
Okay.
17. The pilot who landed at Teterboro had 17 practice attempts before the simulation we just witnessed.
The reaction decision time will be set at 35 seconds.
35 seconds, not enough time.
We only had 208 seconds total, so I'll take it.
Upload the link.
The Scope has received confirmation that for only the third time in history, a Revenant supercarrier has been destroyed.
The vessel impounded last week by the Kaldari Navy has been identified as a Rhea-class jump freighter, the SPC Sea Adler. While preparing for jump out of Tartakan, the ship's transponder began responding erratically, giving away its true identity. A Kaldari Navy patrol immediately prevented the jump and seized the ship, escorting it to a grav dock for customs inspection. In a press release, state officials claimed that the Serpentis-owned Sea Adler was found to be carrying narcotics under the guise of being the Wyarchemy freighter Otago. A fake responder ID and unknown hull camouflaging system were recovered during an inspection of the ship. They are believed to be the primary devices used to mimic the appearance of the Otago. The Sea Adler has been taken to the Propel Dynamics factory in Tamo, where the camouflaging technology is being investigated further.
Which engine did you lose?
Both engines.
If you remaining engine mode, select your ignition. Ignition?
Ignition.
Thrust levers, confirm, idle.
Idle.
Airspeed, optimum relay 300 knots. We don't have that.
No, we don't.
Cactus 1549, if we can get it for you, do you want to try to land runway 13?
We are unable. We may end up in the Hudson.
Emergency electrical power, emergency generator not online.
Online.
ATC notified squawk 7700. Distress message transmit, we did that.
Cactus 1549, it's going to be left traffic, runway 31.
Unable.
Okay, what do you need to land?
Wind shear. Back one off, then on.
Piloted by its owner, Engineer, the Vagrant was one of very few revenants to see service outside Sanchez Nation. When the Prelium Ultima fleet it operated with jumped out of 6E TAC MOW, the supercarrier stayed behind for reasons that are still unknown.
Come by later, yeah?
Sure.
Lucy? Sir? Shall I?
No. It's my job now.
Skynet defense system
We're in.
now activated.
We're past the firewalls, local defense nets, Minutemen, and subs.
Does anyone need to see more simulations?
Now that we've seen what could have happened, can we listen to what actually did?
We will look at all the results at a later date. Elizabeth?
For the record,
Does anyone need to see more simulations?
Now that we've seen what could have happened, can we listen to what actually did?
We will look at all the results at a later date. Elizabeth?
for the record, this is the CVR of U.S. Airways Flight 1549, January 15th, 2009. Gentlemen, headsets.
Skynet fully operational, processing at 60 teraflops a second.
Sir, it should take less than a minute to find the virus and kill it.
All access inquiries to your supervisor.
Let's pray to God this works.
Skynet defense system now activated.
The basic rule of storms is that they continue until the imbalance that created them is corrected. In this case, we're talking about a global realignment. The superstorm will last 7 to 10 days. When it's over, ice and snow will cover the entire northern hemisphere. The ice and snow will reflect sunlight. The Earth's atmosphere will restabilize, but with an average temperature close to that of the last ice age.
What can we do about this?
Head as far south as possible.
That is not amusing, Professor.
Where do you suggest they go?
The farther south they go, the safer they'll be. Texas, parts of Florida that aren't flooded. Mexico would be best.
Mexico. Maybe you should stick to science and leave policy to us.
Well, we tried that approach. You didn't want to hear about the science when it could have made a difference.
What exactly are you proposing, Professor?
Trees absorb carbon dioxide, but they release it during the night and when they decompose. So Professor Klaus Lackner and engineer Alan Wright have been designing a tree which could be more efficient than the real thing. It was here at Biofuels in Arizona that the idea was first conceived. Biofuels was the largest completely airtight artificial ecosystem ever built, the perfect place to study how changes in carbon dioxide would affect the planet. After working on several prototypes, Klaus and Alan now think they might have finally cracked it. This was an early design, more like a cabinet than a tree. Inside, a plastic that absorbs CO2.
These plastics are ion exchange resins, which are commonly used in water preparation. If you desalinate water or make deionized water, this is the kind of stuff you would use. You can buy it commercially in large quantities.
At first, they used chemicals to wash the CO2 out of the plastic so it could be reused.
With increasing CO2 emissions around the globe, toughening environmental regulations, and reductions in cost, biofuels now, for the first time ever, are starting to look like a viable option to compete with traditional fuels. Without going into too many details and doxing myself, I actually work for a biofuel company out in California, and I thought I'd share my perspective on the industry, where it's going, and what the biggest hurdles are. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an upload, and let's jump in. Probably the biggest misconception about biofuels I see here on YouTube is that one day we'll be taking the scraps from our plates after dinner and sending those off to some collection facility where they'll get turned into biofuel. Or better yet, we'll have machines in our homes that can convert the waste to fuel right there in our garage. While that would be amazing for the biofuel industry, it's a crazy pipe dream.
Evacuate everyone south of that line.
What about the people in the north?
I'm afraid it's too late for them. If they go outside, the storm will kill them. At this point, their best chance is to stay inside, try to ride it out, pray. What do you think he'll do?
I don't know. Jack. Thanks. And good luck.
You too. We're all gonna need it.
We can't evacuate half the country because one scientist thinks the climate is shifting.
Every minute we delay is costing lives.
So what about the other half of the country?
If Professor Hall is right about this storm pattern, sending troops north will create more victims. We need to save the people we can right now.
We take the same approach in triage on the battlefield. Sometimes it's necessary to make difficult choices.
I don't accept that abandoning half the country is necessary.
Maybe if you would have listened to him sooner, it wouldn't be.
Bullshit. It's easy for him to suggest this plan. He's safely here in Washington.
His son is in Manhattan. I just thought you should know that before you start questioning his motives.
Power failure? No. I don't know what it is.
Tony, what the hell is going on?
Daddy!
Kay, what are you doing here?
There is utter confusion here in Safasan, as the condition of Empress Jamal Saram remains unknown after a Titan carrying the Empress was destroyed by drifter forces just a few minutes ago. Imperial Navy forces have been mobilized in response to reports of increased drifter activity across Amar space.
Hey, Jay Ackles. That's fake me. Yeah. This must be fake mine. Dude, I have a helicopter. Whoa.
Imagine, just for a moment, that you are aboard a spaceship equipped with a magical engine capable of accelerating you to any arbitrarily high velocity. This is absolutely and utterly impossible, but it turns out it'll be okay for reasons you'll see in a second. Because you know your engine can push you faster than the speed of light, you have no fear of black holes. In the interest of scientific curiosity, you allow yourself to fall through the event horizon of one. And not just any black hole, but rather a carefully chosen one. One sufficiently massive that its event horizon lies quite far from its center. This is so you'll have plenty of time between crossing the event horizon and approaching the region of insane gravitational gradient near the center to make your observations and escape again. As you fall toward the black hole, you notice some things which strike you as highly unusual, but because you know your general relativity, they do not shock or frighten you. First, the stars behind you, that is, in the direction that points away from the black hole, grow much brighter. The light from those stars falling in toward the black hole is being blue shifted by the gravitation. Light that was formerly too dim to see in the deep infrared is boosted to the point of visibility. Simultaneously, the black patch of sky that is the event horizon seems to grow strangely. You know from basic geometry that, at this distance, the black hole should subtend about a half degree of your view. It should, in other words, be about the same size as the full moon as seen from the surface of the Earth. Except it isn't. In fact, it fills half your view. Half of the sky from notional horizon to notional horizon is